As many of you know, these lectures, we record these lectures and we rebroadcast them. They're available on the kennedy.byu.edu website, where we also list our other lectures that are coming up. We have, as is a little untypical for this time of year, we actually have several more lectures for the end of this semester, and we encourage those of you who are interested to check our website to see those. The other logistical thing that I need to mention to you, the ambassador will speak to us, and at the end, he will save a little bit of time for questions. We ask if you have questions for the ambassador to make sure you wait until you have a microphone. We'll have someone here roving with a microphone because we want to record your question as well as his answer. So today we are delighted to have His Excellency Maamoun Keita, who is the ambassador of Mali to the United States. He has been in that position since January of 2012. Having previously served as Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation since 2008. During his diplomatic career, he has also been the ambassador to Ethiopia and has served with concurrent accreditation to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Djibouti. He has spent some of his time as a journalist. In the 80s, he was editor-in-chief for the news magazine La Concordia, and he was the bilingual interpreter for the former Malian president, General Massou Tourare, from 1980 to 1989. He received his BA from Cairo University and has done graduate work at several other places, including the U.S. Department of Defense, the Department of State, and USAID. Would you all join with me in welcoming Ambassador Keita?
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you very much. And I would like to, first of all, to say that I'm very happy to be here in Salt Lake City, introduced by my compatriot, Mr. Samake, who already studied here in this university. So it's very nice to meet with you all, and it's a pleasure and indeed an honor to be with you all today and to brief you on the fast-moving situation in Mali and in the Sahel region, particularly the progress of African Union and ECOWAS actions for the deployment of an African-led international force in Mali. Moreover, I would like to thank Lynn Elliott, the Assistant Director, for personally extending me the invitation to deliver the keynote address at today's event. About the Sahel region first, as you may know, the convergence of complexity of the political situation and the security issues with a devastating humanitarian crisis in the Sahel region presents serious challenges, in particular to the countries directly infected and affected by even for the international community as well. Terrorist groups, transnational criminal organizations, and insurgencies are not the Sahel's only concern. Trafficking in human beings, arms, and counterfeit medicines are prevalent. The smuggling of migrants and other illegal activities are also growing in the Sahel region. The Sahel region is currently facing a suite of problems which are combining to create a perfect storm of vulnerability, not only political, but also involve security, humanitarian resilience, and human rights abuses. The situation today is worsened by the food crisis, which is affecting the entire region. Indeed, these transnational challenges in the region have evolved from social and criminal problems into threats to security, stability, and development. Of the countries in the Sahel region, sadly, Mali is facing political instability, which is causing massive displacement of population. And the international community is gravely concerned about the risk of northern Mali becoming a safe haven for extremists and a focal point for organized crime, illicit trafficking of narcotics. Since taking control of the north, the rebel and terrorist groups have and continue to commit serious human rights violations. This include arbitrary arrests, torture, amputation, and public flogging, rape, summary executions, and use of child soldiers. Some of the groups active on the ground have also been engaged in the desecration, damage, and destruction of sites of holy, historic, and cultural significance, some of which are listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the city of Timbuktu. I would like to show you on this map what is the Sahel region exactly. Here is Mali. And the Sahel region is starting in Mauritania here until Sudan. You see, it's all this area, what we call the Sahel region. And Mali is a part of this Sahel region. Actually, the 2/3 of Mali, the northern part in the Sahel, is occupied by armed groups and Islamist groups.
Excellency.
Originally, these Islamist groups, they came from Algeria, what we call the Salafists. This is the Islamist group from Algeria. They came from Algeria to the northern part of Mali. So all this region is the Sahel, and Mali is here, and this country has the 2/3 of his superficie already occupied by the armed groups. So about the Malian situation, the Malian situation is extraordinarily complex. There are four problems in Mali. One is a problem associated with extremism and terrorism. We believe that groups such AQIM, and Mijao are terrorist groups, and they will have to deal through security and military means. The second problem in Mali is a political problem, dealing with the Tuareg tribes who have had a long-standing historical grievances that need to be addressed in a political context. Third is the need to return to a democratic, freely elected civilian government. It's absolutely essential that Mali move towards new elections as quickly as possible to restore the complete democratic legitimacy of that country. And the fourth problem in Mali is an issue related to the drought and the humanitarian situation that exists in the northern part of the country. All four of this are critical problems that need to be addressed, that need to by the Malians with the support of ECOWAS. ECOWAS, it's the regional economic community in West Africa. ECOWAS and other countries in the region. It's important for all of the states in the region to collaborate together in a harmonious way to find a solution to the Malian problem, including Algeria and Mauritania, two important neighbors of Mali who stand outside of ECOWAS. But equally important, in all of these states working together, it's also important for the international community to work in a cooperative and collaborative fashion with the African states in the region to find a long-term solution. The Malian situation is very complicated, as I said, and on Sunday, 11 of November, in Abuja, ECOWAS leaders adopted what we call the harmonized concept of operations for the deployment of an African-led international force in Mali, and requested the African Union Peace and Security Council to endorse same for onward transmission to the UN within 45 days deadline of the UN Security Council Resolution 2071. ECOWAS heads of state and government urged the UN Security Council to examine the concept with a view to authorizing the deployment of the international military force in Mali in conformity with Chapter 7 of the UN Charter. The harmonized concept of operations was developed by military experts from ECOWAS, the African Union, the European Union, the UN, and other partners during a meeting in Bamako, and subsequently reviewed by the regional chiefs of defense staff, and their meeting held also in Mali before the ministers of the Mediation and Security Council considered it during a one-day meeting in Abuja on Friday, 9th of November. The heads of state and government of ECOWAS reiterated their instructions to ECOWAS Commission to maintain the ECOWAS standby force in a high state of readiness for imminent deployment, and urges member states to concretize their commitments to provide military and logistical contributions to the ECOWAS military efforts. The summit also acknowledged the lead for Mali in the military and diplomatic efforts to restore constitutional order, as well as the unity and territorial integrity of the country, stressing the leadership role of ECOWAS in the deployment of the African-led international force. It also took note of the statement by the interim president of Mali that the transitional roadmap will be unveiled within the next few days. In his opening statement to the summit, the ECOWAS current chair and president of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire affirmed that while we engage in dialogue and negotiations with some groups that control northern Mali, we will continue with preparation for military action against terrorists and criminal groups that are holding the population hostage in northern Mali. He said the priority now is for the mobilization of efforts for the adoption of a UN Security Council resolution under Chapter 7 authorizing the deployment of force for the stabilization of Mali. Already the UN and the African Union representative gave goodwill messages to the region leaders pledging their respective organizations' commitment and support to the ECOWAS initiative. ECOWAS Head of State and Government Summit final communique also stressed that dialogue remained the preferred option in resolution of the political crisis in Mali. However, regarding the security situation, recourse to force may be indispensable in order to dismantle terrorists and transnational criminal networks that pose a threat to international peace and security. The harmonized concept of operations, the ECOWAS plan, covers a 6-month period with a preparatory phase for training and the establishment of bases in Mali's south, followed by combat operations in the north. The military reaction force will count initially 3,500 soldiers with the possibility of expanding in case the ground situation will demand so. The command of this task force was offered to General Sekouba Konate, Guinea's former transition leader, which already stated that all the partners will respect Mali's territorial integrity. The troops would come primarily from Nigeria, Senegal, Niger, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and Togo, and possibly from countries outside the blocs as well. From outside of ECOWAS, Chad could also participate. ECOWAS have had contacts with other countries, Mauritania and South Africa, and the summit discussions also covered the possibility of training of 5,000 Malian troops. About the participation, the contribution of other partners like the European Union, the United States, and other countries. The European Union, on the level of the European Union, military strategists from France, Spain, Germany, Italy, and Poland, they met on Thursday, yesterday, to discuss their expected support for the intervention and discussing a European mission to train Malian troops. Britain has said that no option is off the table, but has stopped short of committing resources so far. The Security and Defense Subcommittee of the European Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee is working on the crisis management concepts for two potential new missions, a military mission in Mali and a civilian mission in Libya that will focus on border management particularly. As for Mali, in accordance with the mandate given to it by the Foreign Affairs Council of 15 of October, the European External Action Service is currently working on a crisis management concept relating to training and modernization of Malian forces. Direct military support from the European Union in future operations by the Malian army is not envisaged, but European armies are expected to send up to 400 special forces troops to Mali to join an African-led mission against Islamists allied to Al-Qaeda occupying the country's desert north. During the Foreign Affairs Council of 19 of November, the High Representative presented the first results of this approach to European Union member states. 2 days ago, the African Union endorsed the harmonized concept of operations for the military intervention in the northern part of Mali, and the blueprint of the harmonized concept agreed in Abuja and endorsed 2 days ago by the African Union was sent yesterday to the United Nations for discussions ahead of a Security Council resolution expected before the end of November. So this is briefly the update of the situation in the Sahel region and the evolution of the Malian crisis. I thank you very much for your attention, and I'm ready for any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the lecture, by the way. So you said that the nations are divided in half. For your opinion, like, who are those people who is maybe against the candidate and who is in a candidate? Are they like family members, poor people, or who like the military idea, or who are those people who are divided for the election?
Yes. As you know, on the 22nd of March, there have been a coup d'etat in Mali. The elected president was overthrown. The junta came to power. Unfortunately, with this coup d'etat, we observed a division between the civil society. Some supported the junta, the others, they organized themselves in the frame of the Democratic Front, supporting the constitution and some democratic universal values. So already the civil society was divided. It's the same for the political leaders. Some of them, they supported the coup, others, they remained silent, and the other part, they tried to express these democratic values, but they all suffered. They were detained, they were beaten. So this is the situation after the coup of the 22nd of March. The context and the environment, it's not ready. Really, it's not appropriate for the organization of democratic elections immediately. Maybe in 2013 we'll be ready. But here also there is this condition of the liberation of the northern part of the country. So here is the configuration of the Malian society, the political leaders' positions after the coup.
In regards to the groups that have taken over the northern part of the country, do the people of Mali want to see Western intervention, particularly from the United States and France, or do they view this as an African issue that they would prefer to be addressed by African nations?
The Malian populations would like, and the Sahel peoples would like direct intervention of the European Union and all other partners. But the partners of the partners of Africa, of the African Union, of ECOWAS, they remain on asking the African countries to lead this military mission. So there will not be American, French, or other European countries' troops on the ground, not at all. What was decided in all this meeting of chief of staffs and the last meeting of extraordinary meeting of ECOWAS, that all partners, European ones, the Western countries, including the United States, they will give logistical support and also support on intelligence and the aviation surveillance. They will support the training of the Malian army, and the troops of ECOWAS will intervene in the north of the country. So no boats on the ground from the Western countries, including the United States, France, or all the other countries. It's an African affair. ECOWAS will send more than 3,500 troops. This is from the ECOWAS countries. We'll get 3,000 troops from the Malian army, and South Africa, Mauritania, and other countries also, they are asked to send troops in the northern part of Mali. So globally, we think that we'll get 10,000 troops on the ground, African ones, to go to the north to liberate the northern part of Mali. But this military action and the deployment has 3 steps. The first step is the securitization of the capital, Bamako, the capital of Mali. The second one is the training of the troops, the Malian ones, and also the enhancement of the ECOWAS troop will get reach Bamako. After that, it will be the third and final phase or step. It will be the securitization of the main cities in the south, which are not occupied by the Al-Qaeda and terrorist groups, and the securitization of the refugee camps in this area. And I think starting January, it will be the offensive against the northern groups in the northern part of Mali. So we have 3 steps, starting by Bamako. After that, the central of the country. On January, I think we'll start this movement to fight the terrorists in the northern part.
Thank you, Ambassador, for coming to campus. It's a great honor for us to have you here. I teach history, African history on campus here. And my question is about, there are a number of countries in Africa, I'm thinking of Nigeria and Somalia, who are dealing with these threats of fundamentalist Islamic groups or groups tied to Al-Qaeda. And I'm wondering what you think or what Mali would like to see happen to deal with that problem, even if it's widespread, if it's something particular to Mali. So I'd like your opinion on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. As you are following this, the situation in the northern Mali and in the Sahel, we have many terrorists and armed groups in the north. We have what we call AQIM. AQIM is the organization of Islamic in the Arab Maghreb. It's issued from the Salafist Islamists of Algeria. And there is a second group. This is a Malian one. It's Ansar-ed-Din. It's led by a Tuareg militant, Iyad Ghali. He has his links with Al-Qaeda and with AQIM. This is confirmed. A third group, it's the MNLA, the Movement for Liberation of Azawad. They are Tuareg people also, but they are opposed to the other Tuareg faction of Ansar-ed-Din. So we have Mijao, it's the movement for the jihad in West Africa, Mijao. This group is composed essentially by people coming, Islamists coming from Nigeria, from Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all these Asiatic countries where we can find Al-Qaeda. And it's the group who is committing the major atrocities actually in the northern part of Mali. There is links between Ansar-ed-Din, Mijao, and Boko Haram in Nigeria. It's confirmed. We have, it's verified. The links and the connection between all these countries is confirmed. They have financial support, mutual support. They are searching militants from all the groups who are committing atrocities and explosions everywhere in Nigeria or in the northern part of Mali. There is connections between these 3 terrorist groups in northern Mali and Al-Shabaab in Somalia. And the most dangerous connection of these groups, it's actually with Ansar al-Sharia in Libya. Ansar al-Sharia, who is indexed actually as the author of the assassination of my colleague, the ambassador of the United States in Benghazi. So we have all this arsenal of terrorists who are in the northern part of Mali with links and connections in West Africa and in East Africa. That's why the international community decided on the 26th of September in New York, in the high-level forum on the security situation in the Sahel, to engage an action, a military action against all these troops. There is unanimity actually between all the members of the international community to intervene to avoid the transformation of Mali to a haven for terrorism and trafficking of many kinds, of people for arms and all things. I don't know if I give you a response to your question. This is about the links, the connections. And Nigeria is one of the most leading countries today with Mali for the fighting of terrorism, terrorists like Mijao, Boko Haram, and Ansar-Din, Al-Qaeda. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Brady Grayson. Thank you for your remarks. My question is about the involvement of the Tuareg people in the north and what the government is doing to appease their concerns about them not being represented by the government.
Okay, thank you very much. What the government is doing to respond to the demands of the Tuareg people in the north of Mali. During the summit of Abuja, the last one, it was decided that the government of Mali have to engage dialogue with the Tuareg rebels in the northern part of Mali. And before that, the international community, in particular the African Union, asked Mali to engage dialogue with all the groups, including the Tuaregs in the north, who are not linked to Al-Qaeda. So it's clear. And as I said, one of the major groups of Tuaregs in the north, Ansar-Din, led by Tuaregs, is linked to Al-Qaeda. So normally this group, we have to exclude it from any negotiations. We can't negotiate with terrorists. So we have the other groups, we have the MNLA, who is, we have the legitimate demands. They are talking about development, about integration. Many efforts were done by the government, the past governments, to respond to this legitimate demands. The government actually is preparing, we put in place the National Commission for negotiations for dialogue with the Tuaregs in the north. It will be installed next week. But here we have an objective problem. As I said, Ansar-Din, who is linked to Al-Qaeda, he's a Tuareg groups. MNLA, who is asking for the creation of a separated republic, the Republic of Azawad. He's Tuareg also. We have other Tuareg groups. One of them is a military one. This is a military Tuaregs who were in the Malian army. They were fighting in the north, and when the army was defeated, they withdrew to Niger. And actually they are there. They are led by Colonel Gamou. He is a Tuareg also, and he has more than 1,000 Tuareg troops with him. He is a Republican. He's supporting the territorial integrity of Mali, and he's opposed to this vision of Sharia or the extremism. So you have this Tuareg military one. He's opposed to two other Tuareg visions, the separation and just Sharia other part. And you have another important group in Bamako of Tuareg people who were for all the time, integrated in the government, in the Republican institutions. One of them is the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament. He is Tuareg. The President of the High Council of Collectivities, he is Tuareg. Some ministers who were there in Bamako working in the government, they are Tuaregs, they are still in Bamako, and they are defending these Republican values. They are not with any of these other Tuareg people in the north. So, to engage in dialogue with the Tuaregs, as it mentioned in all the resolutions. Okay, we are ready to engage in dialogue, but these Tuaregs have to meet, and they have to adopt a common position for the Tuareg community about their vision of what we have to discuss with them. We have more than four groups. So they have to meet between them at first and to adopt a common position for the Tuareg community about their future. It will be an autodetermination. It will be a high level of autonomy. Or there was a formula in Mali implemented everywhere in the region. It's the decentralization for all the regions in Mali. So we have many formulas to discuss with the Tuaregs. With the unified Tuaregs, they have to meet between them first and to come to the government with a common position. But we support the dialogue with them, but they have to harmonize their positions first.
We thank you, Mr. Ambassador. The students are going to have to go off to class, but
Okay.
one more round of applause, and the ambassador will be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.